Three, two, one. All right, guys. What up? What up? What up? Episode 23, baby. So this is
23.
actually our second time trying to shoot this, just because my fucking laptop turned off, and so we basically had to start from ground one. But just to kind of catch you guys up real quick, Pedro's thinking about going back to school. So Pedro, tell us about your little adventure on trying to get back into school and what your majors might be.
Okay, so I'm either thinking about going into psychology,
Okay.
which will not be my first time attempting, and also business. So, as you guys know, I work two jobs right now. One of them is a warehouse, and then the second one is my weekend job,
Okay.
which is working at a burger place. Uh, so I took a little today off just so I can like work more on myself or whatever. And so the reason why I was telling you earlier before it shut off,
Yeah.
I was a little, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous because I had like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Obviously, I was younger,
Yeah.
and I had studied psychology for like a year, about a year or two, or almost 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I failed. And I just, I let go of school,
Yeah.
and then I moved over here, but now I'm with this company that pays me to go to school. Well, they'll pay for my school if
Yeah.
I pass,
Mm.
and if I fail, then I have to pass. I mean, then I have to pay, right? So for me, as we talked about me and you right now, how it'll be more convenient for me to study business just because I'm more into like the leadership and entrepreneurship and obviously business. Now that I see how business is actually run from either warehouse or independent companies or friends that people make business out of anything, either
Yeah.
selling food or whatever, and just understanding how that is. So um, obviously, I do want to start my own business
Yeah.
in the future. Obviously in the future. I was talking to my brother and my friend that I wanted to start like a little vending machine company, like a little vending machine gig, not company, but little gig where I can work my Monday to Thursday at the warehouse, and then I can pay attention to my little vending machine on during the weekend,
Yeah.
and go to school during the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I have an issue where I still have a car payment, so I'm just like, okay, should I let go of the car, give me a little cash car, um, limiting myself on the going out,
Yeah.
on eating out so much, um, and limiting myself on being disciplined on what I'm eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, I did cut a lot. I did cut a lot of going to the movies or going out, like different places or whatever. But the biggest one is going out to eat.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I cut that off and if I sell my car, I can use that money for what I'm trying to do with this whole vending machine thing, right?
Yeah.
And that way I can get a little perspective. I can get a little bit more perspective on, like, because I know more about business about other people, but also I want to know business about myself and how I would want to run my business. You know what I mean? Or how I want to do things. But I'm just learning. I'm just learning. I'm just in the learning stage process right now, and you know,
Yeah,
you
but
know
it's
how they.
important. It's important for you to like jump in and get your hands dirty, because you'll be a little bit more insightful and a little bit more knowledgeable. But also you'll learn a little bit more of like your own personal psychology. And what I mean by that is, I mentioned this before, and I think I mentioned it to you, is that sometimes when people start off with brand new things, especially in terms of business, yeah, like the hard part is starting, but it's even more difficult when problems arise. So you learn
Yeah.
more about yourself, because when problems arise, you kind of figure out, or you kind of know, or start to understand how you solve problems. If you panic, if you're actually one of those people that are going to be able to sit down, relax, you get me? Like you learn more and more and more and more about yourself, not just the business itself. So that's one of the things that I really like about business. Even though some of the businesses I still carry, I still carry kind of like, how do I say it, like a little bit of the pressure. I carry a lot of like the workload, but there's
Yeah.
other little things that I do or have done on the sides where somebody else has kind of like carried me, right? So I
Of
kind of
course.
learned how to be, or kind of learn how to play every role. But also I learn more about myself, because when problems arise, as I mentioned, either A, like break in terms of like my old ideologies and mentality kind of keeps me in the same place because I think things are too difficult. So I don't really try, or I ultimately, like I mentioned before on the podcast, I get bored, or
Yeah.
B, I actually follow through with things, and then I just kind of have to figure out a way in which I could actually break my old mental habits and kind of carry on with the ideas that I have or the ideas that I'm trying to bring forth to life.
Of course. And then you know how they say like pressure makes diamonds, right? And I like what you said because you carry those traits, and the more you get your hands dirty, the more you learn, the more you create new skills,
Yeah.
and you learn from other people, and you make it your own, right?
Yeah.
So my job that I'm on right now at the warehouse, right? Like I said, I manage like around 100 people, a little more, a little less, and depending. Uh, and it's always fast paced, bro. Like people come to you quick, boom, boom, and they bring you like little stickers every day, like nonstop, bro. Like, and you gotta figure out the problem. You know, if you don't figure out the problem now, it's gonna pile up, pile up, pile up, pile up, and you just like, wow, you know what I mean? But you have to manage you have to manage the whole operation. So I managed the whole operation. But when I was barely learning, the person that was training me, she was like, "Hurry up! You gotta do it like this. Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up!" And I'm just like, "I'm learning. Why are you telling me to hurry up?"
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm training you how it would be in reality."
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, "That's crazy." You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Like,
it
that's
makes
crazy.
sense though. Like honestly, like for example, as me as a coach, when somebody tells
Yeah.
me, "Hey, bro, how do I run faster?" Well, run faster, bro. You have to run faster. Like that's the only freaking
Yeah.
way. Like I'm sorry, but I wish I could tell you there's a formula to get yourself, to be as fast as Usain Bolt. But I mean, the
Yeah.
only way that I mean, it's a little different, right? Because genetics and a bunch
Of
of other
course.
stuff
Of
comes
course.
into play, right? But to get faster, you have to run fast. You get me?
Exactly. So that's why I was telling her, because at the time I didn't get why she wanted me to learn the way she was teaching me. And then again, yeah, I would go in a little early and I watch how other people do it, because every different shift does it differently, right? And I'm one of those people that I like to observe people. Like, okay, you do it this way. Oh, all right, you do it that way. Okay, I'll do it that way. You do it that way, and then I make it my own.
Mm.
But the reason why I'm mentioning my trainer is because when she let me by myself,
Yeah.
and right now she's doing something else. Like I'm basically doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing it full time right now, right? And bro, like they come nonstop, and I'm like, it's a rhythm. It's like a muscle memory. I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, that's that, this, that. Hey, y'all, you guys go over here. Hey, do this, do that, do this over here. You know.
Yeah.
So it just became it became a habit. And I told her not too long ago, I was like, hey, that training paid off because you trained me how it would actually
Be
be
like a real simulation.
like a real, yeah, exactly. And she's like, I told you, big dog. You know,
Yeah.
that's how she talks. And I was like, yeah, you know, so. But obviously, I put a little twist to it. But it was cool, man. It's cool learning from different people and having different perspectives, you know?
No, yeah, man. I hope that you really just jump into the business aspect of it, just so you could, as you mentioned, you could learn the ins and outs of how to run a business. But also because, as I mentioned, you learn more about yourself. But I think that one thing you should always keep in mind, regardless of any business you jump in, and this is the way that entrepreneurship was described to me, is that it's learning how to break glass, putting it in your mouth, and loving, and learning to love to chew on that broken glass. That's the way it was
Well,
described to me, just because of the fact that yeah, like everybody wants to start a business, and some people want to like take it to the grand scale, but not everybody makes it to a grand scale. But ultimately, I mean, sometimes like businesses, like they work better as small businesses, and there's going to be certain instances where your business might not work out for whatever reason, right? So that's why the old saying was like, it's learning how to chew on broken glass or bite down on broken glass and loving it, because there's going to be a lot of disheartening things. And I could tell you from experience that sometimes I've jumped into projects that I was very, very passionate about. I jumped in and did almost everything that I possibly could. And at the end, they don't work out. And it's disheartening
yeah,
because, as I mentioned, you put your heart, mind, soul, blood, sweat, tears, sometimes even your physicality on the line for all of this,
yeah,
and sometimes it just doesn't work, bro. So I would say that
yeah,
whatever it is that you're gonna end up doing, do it, and try to go with it as to the pinnacle, bro. As high as you could take it, bro.
Yeah, and that's something that like I really had in mind. Like I was even like praying to God, and I was like talking to myself, and even getting like different um, advice from very close people because I didn't want to just jump into something right away, you know. So obviously, I did my part. I did what I had to do, but also I'm just like, okay, this is something that I really want to do. Then I'm gonna make sure that if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna put it 100%. You know,
Exactly.
but I don't want to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then oh don't do it at all. You know what I mean? Or just actions speak louder than words, right? So I want to make sure that I'm accountable to myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to those that I had told, like, hey, this is something I'm gonna do. My friend Ramsey told me like, hey, you should do psychology. But even though I did try it and I didn't succeed, but I feel like right now I'm in a different stage in my life where I kind of know that a little bit of you know what I mean, the of what I had studied at the time.
Yeah.
But like I said, now I'm at a different stage
Certain things
where
click.
yeah, where things just like okay, you know, because obviously in business you're gonna learn about psychology because
Yeah.
you deal with different people
Things.
every day.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. You know what I mean? Everybody has a different character. You deal with a lot of personalities. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So it is what it is. You know what I mean? But I'm ready for it, and this is something that I'm gonna do. So it's just a little journey for myself that I'm trying to keep for myself. Like true, like I want to keep myself accountable. You know?
Yeah, one more thing, bro. There's always gonna be people that are gonna criticize you, and there's always gonna be people that are gonna hate on you for no reason at all. So sometimes, if I'm being sincere with you, it's better to just do the work, not really say much, and just go through with it. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
as soon as your work comes into the light, either way, people are gonna hate it, even if it's like
yeah,
the best business in the world in whatever field it is that you decide to pursue. There's always going to be that one person that's just a bit of a naysayer, a little bit of a Debbie Downer that's always going to say or spill some fucking bullshit that they don't even fucking believe. You get me? Some people are
yeah,
fucking just straight miserable. It's like you mentioned one time, it's like there's some songs, bro, that will have like a billion views and there'll be like hundreds of thousands of people, even millions of people that will actually
yeah,
downvote it, right? But the
yeah,
thing is, like, you always want to make sure that you're good and your work always outweighs kind of like the bullshit that people are going to talk about, you know? Because everybody talks, bro. Everybody likes to talk and
yeah,
everybody likes to, talk shit from the sidelines, you get me? But when they're in here and they're actually doing the work and they're actually being criticized, getting rocks thrown at them, it's a little bit different, you get me? And that's why I always feel
yeah,
like, yeah, bro, like every time that you go after shit that you really like and you really enjoy. That way you could actually take the rocks that are being thrown at you, bro, the people
yeah,
spitting on you, the people taking a piss on you. You get me? Like you could just,
yeah.
just do it, bro, without worrying so much about that bullshit that's coming at you, bro.
Yeah, and you know what? With that being said, like every rock that they throw, I'm gonna use that to build an empire. You know what I mean? Every spit that they spit, I'm gonna use that for the foundation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've learned that throughout the way, bro. Like no matter what I would do, like I know. Don't get me wrong. There's some songs that I've done that suck, and people would tell me, man, this song's good. In my mind, I'm like, bro, this song sucks. It's my own song. It sucks.
Yeah.
You know, just tell me the truth. You know what I mean? You know, I would rather somebody tell me the truth than tell me a lie. You know, but at the
Yeah.
time, I wanted to feel good, and you know that feel good at the moment, it's pleasure, right?
Yeah.
And you just like okay, but then it's like down the line, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Because honestly, man, like you know, we're getting older, and we have to make better decisions. You know, I told myself like, man, like I don't want to be wasting my time just paying for a truck that don't get me wrong, I try to take care of it, but like it's time for me to move on from this stage of my life where like I'm literally just in neutral right now, you know, and I cannot excel because I'm comfortable where I'm at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm in this road, but but there's not enough rocks or to give me that vibration that I need to like say, you know what, like I need to get uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So I know what I got to do. I just got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you said right now, like it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Like you got to put in the work because nobody's gonna put in the work for you. You
Yeah.
know? So yeah.
I think you just gotta take constructive criticism, and I mean it in terms of like if somebody's gonna talk quote unquote shit to you, or somebody's gonna say something that's kind of borderline rude, make sure that they give you a reason why. So, for example, in my
Mm.
space where I do stuff online, keep in mind, bro, like anytime, especially if you throw anything online, you're there to be judged. Let's
Yeah.
be honest, bro.
Yeah.
Like you throw your work out there, and even though, yeah, to some extent, most of us are kind of expecting at least a positive outcome, or at least that's kind of like what the things that we yearn for, something good coming right back at us, like good comments, likes, you know, an abundance of followers, of subscribers, whatever platform it is that you're on,
Yeah.
or customers, right? But the whole point is we're always looking for something positive. But we also, as I mentioned time and time again, we also have to expect and kind of realize that along with with more exposure comes also more negativity as well.
Mm.
So in my space, for example, like there'd be instances where people will comment like "you suck" or like "you're a casual,"
Yeah.
or they'll tell me some bullshit, right? But they can't really tell me a reason why. You get me? And
Wow.
that is just a straight hater, bro. Because if I really care for somebody and I tell them like, "Hey, bro, like no lie, your work wasn't that good," I give them a reason why it's not good. It's not just like,
Wow.
"Oh yeah, bro, like your work sucks."
Yeah.
That means that I'm a hater, that I never liked
Yeah.
their work.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I
Yeah.
always try to give everybody constructive criticism, and even with my own line of work, sometimes I'll ask people, "Hey, I did this video, or I did this podcast. Let me know what you think. Let me know where I could improve on, and just be very sincere and honest with
Yeah.
me." And yeah, like if those people care enough and they actually listen, then they're a customer, or they're a listener, or they're a subscriber or follower, that where their voice really matters to me. You get me? And that
Wow.
though that criticism that they give me, depending on if I think about it and if it's something that I also myself want to incorporate or take out, depending on what the feedback was, then I'll do it. If not, I mean, there's some times as well, bro, where people have told me like, "Hey, this isn't good because so and so," but I continued doing it and it just grasped on. Like for example, like a big thing was when I did my logo.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, bro, I had people that would say, "Oh, nah, bro, like that's too complicated. Oh, nah, nobody's really gonna pay attention to that." And like there was people out there, bro, that wouldn't do my logo because it was either too complicated or they had another idea for my own idea,
Logo.
yeah, or my
Yeah.
own logo, right? Like on my own face of the business,
Yeah.
and it just didn't make sense to me, bro, until I found people that actually have kind of like the same idea, or at least if they didn't have the same idea, they at least kind of gave me a shot, right, and decided to, bring to life the idea that I had inside my head. And so, yeah, man, sometimes like it's just better to not really listen to people, or just listen to a very close group of friends or critics, and then everything else just kind of like let it be white noise. Just throw it to the
Yeah.
back, throw it to the back, throw it to the back. There's no point, bro, because also like if you take criticism and you take judgments from everybody and you take everything to heart, then either A, you're gonna be very lost, or B, you're gonna be very hurt.
Yeah. And wow, bro, like you really said it well. You know, like when somebody, you know what? I remember, well, first you said it very well, man. How like how people will hate, but they don't tell you why they hate it.
Exactly.
But if they tell you why they don't like something, then tell me why you don't like it. You know, was
Yeah.
it? There's I remember the first time I started going to the gym. You know, my friend would be like, if you would tell me like, hey, you have a wrong form. You know, the way you're lifting. You know, and I know he wasn't hating because I know he's a trainer. You know what I mean? But he was like training me, so I didn't took it in the sense like, hey, let me do it by myself. I was like, okay, let me humble myself because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was kind of giving me constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So he went from being so I guess you can say, you can go from being a hater to
A critic.
being a critic, an actual critic.
An actual critic. Yep.
And that blew my mind right there, man. I remember when I dropped a few songs and they were good. I was like, you called me, bro. I was like, damn, it felt good because to me, I know that you love good music.
Yeah.
And I know that you're a critic, bro. Like, if you don't like something, you're going to tell me straight up.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. And that's something that I love about you. No matter what it is, you know what I mean? So, I really respect that. I really respect that out of you, man. And that's the type of people that I want to surround myself with.
Yeah.
It's those that have good intentions, but also that see the flaws and that see the flaws in people or in you or in me, and that we can change that flaw into something that's going to become, I guess you can say, flawless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we keep polishing it, if we keep working on it, if we keep sharpening each other, you know what I mean? So, but how you been though, man? How you been? I didn't even ask you that.
No, yeah,
How you
but
been, man?
just staying on the topic though. I'll get back to your question.
Are
Yeah,
you
bro,
good?
it's just about like creating calluses for yourself because people are gonna throw and they're gonna spew a bunch of very hateful, very distasteful shit. And also, in a way, you have to be borderline nonchalant so that way you don't engage with these people because at the same time you are gonna be wasting energy, saliva. You're gonna be wasting your your good mood trying to defend yourself or go against what somebody that sometimes you don't even fucking know
Yeah,
supposedly knows about you or thinks about you when at the end of the day their criticism or their opinions, right? Because it's mostly opinion, doesn't really matter. It does nothing for you. So I always feel every time that you throw out there, you just kind of gonna have to keep that in mind. Like every time that you're throwing out a big project into the world, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna come with very judgmental, very
yeah,
bullshit ass comments, opinion, and so that's why I always tell everybody, bro, like, because a lot of people are very enthusiastic about just throwing their line of work out there, and in a way, you're kind of exposing yourself. You're kind of, as I mentioned, you're basically standing in a courtroom to be judged by everybody, especially like when you're
yeah,
doing things online. As I said, like the whole world might be watching. Like you never know. So I always tell people like you got to make sure that you create that calluses. And I know that there's people out there that don't necessarily read their comments or their feedback because Joe Rogan's actually one of those guys that with the biggest podcast in the world, and he says he never reads his comments at all. Imagine that, bro.
wow.
Like the person with the biggest podcast in the world where people leaves probably hundreds of millions of comments, bro, and he never reads them. He never reads any.
Does he? You know, I would say maybe because he doesn't want to like see the negativity, or I don't know. You know, that's
I
something.
think he just doesn't care, bro.
Yeah,
He doesn't care
yeah,
because he's at a point where like it doesn't really matter. Like
yeah,
we'll like it's just a talk. It's just a casual
yeah,
conversation. Like that's why sometimes I don't get it. I mean, yeah, like people have different opinions on some of the things that we might say, or somebody with a podcast
yeah,
like that might have to say. But at the end of the day, it's like you're having opinion on another opinion. You get me?
yeah,
So at least for me, it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, sometimes you'll have like people that are actually professionals in a certain field, and maybe people are a little bit more opinionated. But even then, that becomes a little bit more difficult and challenging because some of the people that are like giving opinion, they're just people that have never been in those fields. You get me? So sometimes it's a bit difficult, bro. It's a bit difficult sometimes where you kind of want to draw the line in who gives it an opinion or not because also you also have to give the benefit of the doubt that there's people out there that are actually quite smart and they actually know what the
yeah,
hell they're talking about. They just don't really have the voice or the platform or I guess you could say how do I explain it to you? I guess the fame you could say to actually compete or have the same voice as some of the people on some of these shows.
yeah. I do agree. I wanted to go back to like what we were talking about, how you were saying about when well not caring. I remember I was listening to this interview by Eminem.
Uh-huh.
He's like, man, like he was saying before I even started cussing or anything, like whatever, like before I gave an F, he's like nobody really cared. But once I said I don't give a crap, everybody started loving me. Like and he's like it made no sense. You know what I mean?
I feel like
And it's true
right there
because
what one was authenticity though.
yeah. So I feel like if you don't if you don't really care what people think, then they're powerless.
Yeah.
You know, they can say whatever they want, and if it doesn't face you, then it hurts them instead of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why he doesn't read those comments. And like even now, like there's certain people that I really do care about their opinion, but obviously, like I have my own opinion and my
Yeah.
own thoughts. But like even now, like there's certain people that I look up to that I'm just like, okay, I'll take your thought and your opinion to consideration, you
Yeah.
know. But I try not to like with the whole school situation, right? Like I told you, and I told my friend Ramsey, and I told my brother, like, hey, what do y'all think about this? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, I might do this, I might do that, and you know what I mean? But it's always about obviously staying true to yourself, but also like you got to know what you want. You know what I mean? Know what you want, stay true to yourself, and don't care what anybody says. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
If that's something that you want to do, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? And don't let nobody stop you, regardless of you feel like you're gonna fail. Because that's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm gonna fail, but shoot, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. You know what I mean?
Yeah, remember what I
And
told you
trying better
last
than
time,
not
bro?
trying.
Remember what I told you last time? Don't think about things too far ahead. Just take it step by step and just think of, just take things as is. If you just take things as if, there shouldn't really be that much anxiety because you're just
Yep.
gonna take things as they come, basically. Because that's all it means. Take things as they come, and take them as is, and that's it. Don't think too far ahead because if you're putting yourself in hypotheticals, then you're already losing, bro. Especially if you're thinking about like negative hypotheticals. So just take things as is and take it
Damn,
slowly. Take it real slow, bro. One step in front of the other, and that's it.
that's good. So
Oh
then you
yeah,
have high expectations, and then if something goes wrong,
you fall
then
higher from the clouds.
yeah, you're gonna fall. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you're right, bro. Take it one step at a time, and I'm gonna do that for sure, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But when was the last time you were in school, bro? Like you were literally in school? Because wasn't your the last time you were in college? Wasn't it uh internet? Wasn't it through the web?
Yeah, yeah. It was through it was online. It was online, and it was. I failed over something dumb. It was like I said, it was like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I went to Grand Canyon University. They flew me out there from Cali. So I went out there. I went to go to the school. Counselor was good. Everything was good. I was going online or whatever, and it was we were doing a group project, and two of the classmates didn't did their work, and we kind of like failed. So I was like, whatever. Like I'm not even gonna, you know. So that's kind of like what happened, you know. Um, yeah, so that's what happened. And I was like, whatever. I'm just not even gonna pursue it anymore. But I really put my time in. I remember I used to do security. I used to do security for Enterprise, but we were third party,
Yeah.
and and I was just chilling in one of their cars, and I was on my computer, you know. And it felt really good because I was like, man, I'm actually doing something. But thinking about it right now, even though there's times I feel like I didn't put in work, I did, you know. And at least I did learn a few things, you know what I mean, that I can take with me. But I don't know. I can't look back. I just gotta look forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta look forward to the future. So,
Have you been thinking about what school you might want to enroll in?
well, the company that I'm with,
Uh-huh.
they only have
Options.
two schools that they offer. Which, like I said, I'm barely looking into it, so I don't really have the name of the schools yet. But I'm like I said, I was working yesterday and then today. You know what I mean? So I'm easing myself into it. So yeah, they only offer two schools though.
Uh-huh. All right. Have you felt like you may sway one way?
What do you mean?
Like you will sway to one school more than the other?
I really don't know, man. It just really depends once I do my research. You know, I don't really know anything about it. All I know is that one of them is online and then one of them is in person.
Physical.
Now, I tried online and I didn't really enjoy it because I'm more of a like a hand person. I'm
Yeah.
more of a
Hands on. Being there
hands on.
physically.
Yeah, physically, I'm more of a caller on the phone than texter. I'm more of a, you know what I mean?
I get you.
I like being there. So if the school that offers of me being in class, and I go to the class, you know what I mean? I'll be there physically and learning, and even if I have to get up early, I'll be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the school that I'll choose.
No, yeah. I mean, schools. Good, man. I liked, for the most part, being in college just because of the freedom that it has. Uh, like sometimes I'm gonna be honest with you, when it came down to like the group project, especially like as you
Yeah,
mentioned, like there were some instances where for whatever reason some of us couldn't get along, or we were stuck in groups where certain people were kind of like hard to deal with.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, I mean, I enjoy college, bro. And then if anybody is listening, I think that if you guys are in high school and thinking about like going into a trade, or not even going to a trade, but dropping out and going into the workforce, I would suggest that you at least go to college and maybe get like associates in something where it's not really a bunch of classes or a bunch of studying. Like just get a small trade that you might be invested in or you may want to try out. Like just give it a try. Like because college also is, I would say it's a much better experience than high school, but
yeah,
you also have a little bit more of extra responsibilities since it's a lot of freedom as well. I would say that if you guys are in high school, I say that you at least give college one full year and actually show up to your classes, do the work.
yeah,
And I mean, if you do it for 1 year, I mean, what's one more year, right? Because an associate's only 2 years on average, right? So if you guys do a year, more than likely, at least I would hope and I would honestly really expect that you guys finish the following year and get an associate's or a trade and make a good amount of money, right? Because in a lot of places now, I mean, you could go in and work for a trade, but I mean, at the end of the day, what really talks is that piece of paper. So you have an associate's, you'll earn a little bit more than somebody that's just going into the workforce right away.
yeah. Because I mean, they're paying you for what you studied.
Yeah.
You know. I know my sister in law's dad. I'm not gonna say how much he makes, but he makes pretty good money, and I'm just like, wow. Like makes twice or three times more than what I make.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dang. You know what I mean? So like, and even my brother tells me, bro, like you like go back to school. My sister-in-law went back to school, and she's like, go back to school, man. If the job isn't gonna pay for it, then you can't fail because unless you
I
actually
actually
because
felt
you want
like,
to fail, you know.
yeah,
But you can't fail. I mean, I'm gonna have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, 3 days where I can actually study and actually be consistent on.
yeah,
It all falls on the person, on the
yeah,
individual, on myself, on you, and honestly, it's all procrastination, man.
yeah.
If it's all procrastination, it's all imagination, it's all what you want to do in life. You know what I mean? Because then, like I said, bro, I was telling your brother today. I was on the phone with your brother, and I was like, man, there's times I look at myself in the mirror, and I'm just like, man.
I'm cute.
Oh, hey,
I'll be
actually
like,
no, actually no.
damn, bro, I'm so handsome. Nah,
Man,
what were
my
you gonna
man.
say?
I was like, I was like, man, my beard grew quick. I don't know. I looked at myself in the mirror, man, and I was just like, man, I thought about my dad, bro. Cause, I used to live with my dad here and there, and I was like, man, I was the same age, when I was used to live. You know what I mean? It's a trip, and I'm like, man, my dad didn't really have, like we talked about in the other episode, how they didn't really have as many options
Yeah,
that we do.
yeah,
I'm just like, man, like I have the option to go to school. I have the option to do this. I have all these options. And if I throw them away, it's like, again, like being disrespectful to the people that believe in us,
yeah,
that believe in me, And I feel like it's time to let go of that childish thinking. You know what I mean? And the Bible says, let go of the childish things, When you get older, you let go of those things, And I feel like I'm walking in that right path right now. I just got to put it into action,
yeah. I have a question for you, bro. I know that you always have a question for me mid podcast, but
Yeah.
I have a question for you, sir. Let's see if you could
What?
answer this for me. And honestly,
Okay.
there's no right or wrong answer. It's just an answer based on opinion.
Okay.
Why do you think us as humans are so attached to one thing, like in general, for the most part? So most of us humans will look at, for example, like if we're in a relationship, we think like this person is the one, or if we're stuck to a
Yeah.
job for a long time and then we get laid off, like we think it's the end of the world because we got laid off. When in reality, you could always start all over. So why do you think we get so attached to like just simply one thing?
I feel like the answer to that is the feeling, of emotion, or the emotion behind it. I talked to a few guys that used to work at where I work at, and we kind of started at the same time. I've been there for like 7 years, 6 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, I miss the warehouse. And I'm like, do you miss the warehouse or you miss the people? Oh, I miss the people. So they miss the environment, right? Like me, I miss working at the hotel,
Yeah.
Why? Well, because of the environment. Not really the place. Well, the place a little bit, but it's more the people that was there, right? So I feel, or just say somebody gives you a flower, you know what I mean? You give your girlfriend a flower, and if she really loves you, she's gonna be attached to that flower. Why? Because that person that loves her gave it to her, right? I feel like it's just the emotion behind either the action or the place or the people that are involved in certain things, situation, places, whatever. That's what I feel. That's what it is, the feeling.
Yeah, because people get so attached to things, and sometimes these things are not the best things. Like, for example, some people will get laid off from McDonald's, right? And
Yeah,
they'll think like it's the end of the world, and in reality, it's kind of like, bro, like you could just start anywhere. Like you could
yeah,
just go anywhere and start a new job, without any problems, especially because those are low end jobs and they're not anything
yeah,
that's. I mean, you don't really need. I mean, not even trying to be fucked up, but you don't really need a specific skill to work at, these lower end jobs. So that's why I always found it a bit weird, bro, how people are always so afraid to like start over. Yeah,
yeah,
like there's gonna be times where maybe you'll start all over in a job that may require a little bit more skill than you may be lost, but that's just anywhere you go. Just like we talked about in like a podcast,
yeah,
or two podcasts ago, where we're talking about like sometimes you'll enter a new job and you don't know exactly what to do, but that just doesn't mean that you're gonna stop and quit. No, dude, like it's barely your first day or your first week. Like
yeah,
you're barely getting a hang or the hang of what the work requires you to do. So that's why we found it kind of weird how people would like barely even try or get cut or lose their job, and it's like they don't like, I don't know, like for them it would seem like it would be like the end of the world, bro. I seen people cry for like jobs at 7-Eleven, bro. Like that's how
wow,
sometimes I'll be like yeah,
wow,
I know that you guys have been working there for a couple years or whatever, but sometimes like that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, at least for me, bro, it never made sense to me because I felt like I've always wanted more, and also
yeah,
because I know that there these jobs, especially like the jobs that I've had as well, like they haven't really been like the most skilled jobs. So I know that sooner or later something's gonna pop out. Like yeah, like it's frustrating at times and it's boring as I'm looking for these jobs, and sometimes
yeah,
it even hurts because maybe I'll be in a little bit of a need of money, but for the most part, I know that sooner or later I'm gonna get a job somewhere, bro. So that's why I always
yeah,
kind of felt a little bit weird when I would see people kind of make it seem like it was the end of the world because someone left them or because their
yeah,
job terminated. It's like, dude, like don't be afraid to start all over. Like take another shot at something.
yeah. I feel like, yeah, bro, like you said it best, and it just people become comfortable to the environment
Mm,
and to the and to the people, right?
you're
Like,
right.
you can be with somebody and you can start off all sweet
Yeah.
and love somebody, and then this person hits them, and then it's just one time, and then all over again. How many times he hit you, Oh, but
Chris Brown
he
level. Pa,
wasn't
pa, 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 pa.
like
And-
like 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 he wasn't like this, right?
yeah.
So I guess if that person felt comfortable loving the person that they when they first met and who they became,
Yeah.
right? An
Yeah.
abusive person, or you can be, it just really depends on the situation, man. But I
Yeah.
feel like it's either the emotion, the emotion and feeling that you have towards
Yeah.
the person, or but then again, I feel like it's how do I say it, man? Um, it's I have the word in my mind. I'm not trying to cuss. It's because I try not to cuss, but
I feel you.
it's not real. You know what I mean? It's not. It's fake. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you can be with somebody, right? And this person can hit you, and you can say you love this person, but in the end of the day, you make the decision, right?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, you're attached to this person, or you're attached to this place, and you're attached to this video games, and that's all you do is play video games, or all you do is work, because even working too much is bad, which I know I'm trying to have that balance, but like too much of everything is bad. But like if and I know I'm all over the place, but when you're attached to something, only you have the control to get only you have the control to get away from that and detach yourself from that, right?
Yeah.
If you're if you're in an abusive relationship, nobody can change that unless you walk away from that. You know what I mean? Same with anything. If you at a place where at a work environment, and if you don't like it, then it's up to you to either make some changes, or I don't know. Like I told you, bro, when I really moved here, I found 5 jobs in one day. You know what I mean? So there's
crazy.
there's jobs everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I really believe in faith without works is dead. Like you can have all the faith in the world. Like, man, I hope I find a job. I pray I find a job. I know God's gonna provide. Well, yeah, I'll get up and look for a job, and you know what I mean. Like sometimes we just want things to fall. We want the leaves to fall on us, but we don't want to put in the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. I'm rambling right now.
But from what I get from all of this is that most of us are attached to idea of something. So when we have a job, we're attached to the idea that this is like the only job we have and the only job that we feel comfortable with. And then we're in love with somebody that, quote unquote, apparently loves us or supposedly loves us, but they abuse us in a way that's physical, mental, verbal.
Yeah.
You're more attached to the idea of like the person that this person probably played as they were getting to know you, or at the honeymoon phase, or you're in love with the idea of the potential that these people may have. And in reality, it's like sometimes these people never reach their potential, or they never reach, I guess you could say, somewhat of like the ideal person that you had in mind. And some of these jobs are not ideal for us as well, bro. Like some of us could do so much more, but for whatever reason, whether, as you mentioned, is comfort, like we just stay there because it's all we know and what we feel comfortable with, instead of giving a brand new person or a brand new environment and setting a new chance. You get me? Like starting brand new and just ultimately being uncomfortable at the beginning, and then soothe our way to comfort again. So I think that a lot of us are just, I don't know, we're in love with ideas of things that they're just ideas. They're not the reality that's actually going on in our life. You get me?
And then what's crazy too is that when years pass, we blame the other person instead of blaming ourselves, right? Like, man, you wasted 5 years of my life. You know, no, you wasted 5 years of your life because you could have walked away, or you could have, you know what I mean? You could have left that job and found another job, or you could have, you know what I mean? So, because I heard so many people say that, like, I have a lot of friends that, oh man, that they're in this relationship, and like, bro, like if things are not working out and you guys can't talk it out, then you know what I mean? Well, what are you guys gonna do to fix it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you guys are gonna let years pass and then the same thing over and over again, then you know something has to change, right?
True. That's really true.
But yeah, man. So we can't really blame anybody else but ourselves, and that's it, you know.
Definitely. Hey, I heard you're coming to LA, bro. Word on the street.
Yes, sir. Yes, man. Man, that word traveled so fast.
Time went quick, huh?
Yeah, man.
When were you here? Like in September, no?
No, it was in October. It was in October because I remember I had gotten my my PTO in October, and I think it was towards the end of October or maybe in the beginning of September.
It was in the middle, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we weren't even really that close to Halloween. It was like in the middle of October, bro.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I'm thinking middle of October because I got my PTO on the 17th of October, and I remember, yeah, you're right.
Like from the middle to towards the end.
But anyways,
yeah.
time time went by so fast, man.
Yes, sir.
So fast. You know, so like I was telling my brother, man, like if I go this time, I'm not gonna fly. I want to drive out there, and I want to spend like at least a whole week and a half out there.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to like rush. I don't have to freaking like, you know what I mean?
Perfect.
I remember last time when I went with my friend for like an hour and 30 minutes, and I was just like, my bad, bro, I gotta go. You know, so I feel like it was poor planning for my part.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do a lot of different things, and maybe I was selfish in a sense. Like I wanted to drive to the beach, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, I wanted to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then a lot of things were happening out there, so you know, um, it was just crazy. It was a crazy time to go, but
Hey, you know
it
what
just
I've
went by.
always kind of found you know what I've always found kind of weird, and I guess it's because like it's just normal to me. And we were just talking about it with our friends not so long ago. How so many of us that actually live in the state of California, or at least near the beach, it's like for whatever reason, like we find the beach and the feeling of being in the beach like so refreshing and so calm and
Yeah,
such a good feeling. You get me? And we were trying to figure out like why that is, and it's true because Louis actually was the person that told us this. It's like the reason why probably we find this so calming and so alluring and just kind of like the place to be is like think about it. When have you ever had a bad day at the beach?
never,
Never. Yeah, exactly. Never.
never.
At least like all of us here, we never had a bad day at the beach. So every time that we're at the beach, like there's no negative like emotion attached
Yeah,
to it as we're in the beach. So we always, for the most part, enjoy it. Like literally, there's
yeah,
been instances where we have gone to the beach like in the morning. We just grab something from McDonald's or somewhere like to get breakfast. We stop somewhere to
yeah,
get breakfast. We go to the beach and we just enjoy it, bro. Like we are literally sitting down on a bench watching the ocean, watching the waves, and us eating breakfast, bro. And
yeah,
we find it so like soothing because like we've never had anything emotionally tied that was negative to the beach.
yeah,
Yeah, that was kind of weird to think about.
yeah. And then I get that too. And also like me, like I like to sleep with like ocean sounds or
Oh, that's your
whatever.
white noise.
Yeah, like that. And then but when I like to go to the beach, I like to hear like I don't know, the view, bro. Like just God's beautiful creation, man. You know,
Yeah,
the how the sunset or the sunrise or whatever. But even at night, man, it's just beautiful. Remember
yeah.
how last time when I went, you and your brother went to the beach
At night.
at night. It was everything was closed, but we were still able to get a few things right.
Yeah, we got.
Some food.
I dropped my fucking churro that day. I was
I
fucking
remember that.
pissed, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I really enjoy it, man. I remember one time Ramsey had taken me. My bad, bro.
It's all good.
I remember one time Ramsey had to. This is when I was living in foster care. No, that's a lie. No. I was staying in Skid Row. I was staying in Skid Row, and Ramsey picked me up. He said, "Hey, you know what? Let's go to the beach." And I was like, "I'm down." So when we went to Pacific Coast Highway, and we sat by, it's like the scenery was beautiful, man. And that's like one of the times when I really fell in love with the beach.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because ever since I was like little, and I used to live with my mom, we
Yeah.
would always go to the beach, not to enjoy the beach, but we would always go to the beach to sell like chocolates and tortas and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
To make a
we
living.
would never go, to go business,
Yeah.
you know?
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, all right. So it's in me somehow, I'm saying.
It's in you.
So,
It's who
yeah,
you
it's in
are.
me, so it's who I am. But like ever since that day that he took me, it was very peaceful, you know. So every time I go visit,
Yeah.
every time I go visit, I try to at least go to the beach at least one time, whether it's in the nighttime or wherever, man. Um, but yeah, man, we gotta go this time for sure.
Yeah, we gotta go,
Again,
bro. I haven't got to the beach in quite some time either. I
and
think the last time that I went to the beach was with, I think it was with you in the summer, bro, in June. I haven't gone
and
since. Yeah. When we
and
went
really,
to Redondo Beach. Oh, no, I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you, bro. I'm a freaking liar. I went the day after Thanksgiving. I ended up going with
Uh-huh.
Rodrigo, and we ended up having breakfast that day. We went to Redondo Beach,
And
and we sat upstairs, and so we were able to see most of the beach, the water and stuff, and we were just eating
yeah,
breakfast sandwich on one of the beach benches.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah. So we
you know
went.
the last time I went to the beach was when I went because I know I went with my friend and he stays out there.
Yeah.
And Seal Beach, right? He sits in
Seal
Seal
Beach
Beach.
by Long Beach. Yep.
Yeah, and like I said, he stays like in this army base, or in the army base. And I was telling you, like, hey man, he was telling me, hey, come through, you can stay at the base. And he has literally his RV right there by the beach. He's like, don't worry, man, you can stay here. Like, when you come for the week, you stay here for a few days. You don't gotta rent a hotel. You stay here by the beach. Got a bonfire. He'll take guitar, and we were eating a breakfast burrito. I was like, dang, and this freaking delicious, man. Uh, but I don't remember. Did we go to the beach when? Because you guys
We
know,
went in
no,
June when you came the first
yeah,
time in June. We did come, but we did go to the beach. It was at night before you actually went to the airport.
yeah, because I remember I dropped myself off this time at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
but the 2 trips ago, when you came in
Yeah,
the summer, we did go to the beach at night, and this time
I
we
went
didn't get
to
to go to the beach.
yeah, I went to Redondo, right?
We went to Redondo Beach, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, and then before that, we ended up going to Malibu. Remember? Because you drove
yeah,
down Pacific Coast Highway. You actually drove that day. Remember?
really.
Yeah, the day that you had
Uh,
your truck. Remember Leslie was with us?
oh yeah, we went hiking.
We
Remember?
went hiking, yeah, down in
We went
Malibu.
hiking.
What's it called? Escondido Falls.
Yeah, I remember that. It was freaking, and that was a good experience, man.
You like
That's
driving down
definitely,
Pacific Coast Highway?
huh?
You
That
like
was good,
driving down
bro.
PCH?
Heck yeah, man. I'm like I said, bro. I'm the type of person that I love to go camping.
Yeah.
I love to go to the beach. I love the outdoors, man. So any opportunity that I got to do that, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Over here, bro, it's just you hear the train and you hear planes.
We're gonna
Yeah.
see if we could actually go to man, what's it called? Uh, Eden Canyon. Let's see if we could hit Eden Canyon and just kind of get that
Okay.
hike going this time around. See if we could do that hike this time around. I
Heck
don't
yeah.
know if there's gonna be a waterfall just because we're in the winter time, so I'm not sure if there's a waterfall.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully there's a little bit of water. So let's try to hit that, bro. And the trail's not
Heck yeah.
that
No, we
bad.
don't.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's for the most part it's pretty smooth. There's just a small section where it gets a little bit rocky, but then that's not that bad.
The little
Uh,
hiking, the little hiking to get there is freaking cool, man.
and where?
Like it's not the little hiking to get to that little waterfall. It's
Oh
not
yeah,
bad at all.
yeah, it's not bad.
That's yeah. But no, I'll be down, man. I'll be down. I'll let you know. I'll let you know this week. I'll let you know this week how things are gonna
Play out.
how things are gonna work out.
Yeah.
And that way we can like plan accordingly this time.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be in a rush, and we can actually do some things.
So the good thing
Definitely,
is
definitely gonna get some Tom's burgers. Definitely.
Tom's Burgers?
that Juanito's hearing you. His mouth is watering already.
he's like, let's go.
Let's go right now, my boy. Yeah. Well, the good thing is that okay. So I work the rest of the week, and then there's vacation. But the thing is, there's a few days where kids are still gonna show up. But
Yeah.
we decided to divide the days by coaches. So on Monday I work with a few different coaches, and then some of the coaches are gonna take the extra days that are left. But yeah, I'm actually gonna be working on next Monday, and then after that
Okay.
I should be free, bro. I should be free for about like 2 weeks and a half, right? Yeah,
Okay.
2 weeks and a half. So that whole week I'm more than likely gonna be free. So if you want to do
Okay.
something throughout the time that you're here, more than likely we'll do that. We'll hit up Ruby. Let's see if she has a few days available, and let's see what we could actually plan out. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the cousins, as I mentioned, since a lot of things are winding down, they're gonna
Yeah.
also be pretty open or free. So maybe we'll get something going, bro. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if we told you this, but we actually had like a little gathering with all of our cousins during a week prior to Thanksgiving. So we had all of our cousins here, bro. The only people that
That's
were missing were my tia Paula's kids and my Tio Chicho's kids.
Dang,
Yeah, but we
that's
had everybody
crazy.
here. Yeah.
It was packed though, I bet, huh?
Yeah, it was packed. It was packed. And keep in
Yeah.
mind, like, this is just the kids, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, bro, like, hopefully when you come, like, we'll have more stuff to do, and most of us will be free to be able to kind of all unite and be together and do fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Heck yeah. I remember I was telling Ruby was actually she hit me up last week. She's like, hey, are you gonna come during Christmas? And I'm like, yeah. And then I was telling her that she was telling me that her brother works at the Paramount,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, pass my mixtape. Nah, just
Come on, mixtape in there.
nah, just saying. I was like, hey, that'd be cool. Maybe take a little trip if if he can hook it up or whatever. But if not, it's cool. But definitely, man, I'll let you know. Like I said, my bad. I'll let you know. I'll let you know this week. I'll let you know actually tomorrow. What is that? That's Goku, but what is that, bro?
Water bottle.
Well, that's dope, bro. That's dope. I'll let you know tomorrow when I go to work what days they're gonna give, what days I can get.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I have not put my days in. So tomorrow I'm gonna see what days they have available.
Yeah, try to get that week and a half.
Let me know text me the days that you're gonna have off. That way I can be like, hey, give me these days.
So I'm gonna be free from the 19th all the way to like about the 7th.
The 19th. Oh wow.
Dang. Yeah, because it's 3 weeks, bro. Because I work for a school.
Yeah. Understandable. I'm just like, dang, that's a long time.
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah, not for us though. Hey,
3 weeks, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good then. Through the 19th through the 7th. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Like I said, tomorrow I'm gonna set the schedule and see what days they want to give me, and we can go from there.
Yeah, let's do it, bro.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's been an hour. You want to close off this podcast, my brother?
Yeah. All right. So it was definitely a good talk, man. A good talk in this episode. Talked about business. Talked about growth. Talked about
haters.
Haters.
The haters.
Talking about haters. Talk about
they hate us because what? They hate us because what?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know it? They hate us because they ain't us.
Anus.
You mean the anus?
For the interview, right?
Yeah, for the interview. They hate us because they ain't us.
Oh, that's funny, bro. That was a funny movie.
Remember when that movie came out? They actually shut down the cinemas because since it was like about the North Korean dictator, like people were so afraid that the North Koreans were gonna plot some what do you call it? Little terrorist attacks. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
They actually, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't show the movie nationwide. There was only a certain amount of states that actually showed the movie because people were so terrified about what could happen if they're stuck watching a comedy movie on the North Korean dictator. That's crazy, bro.
And now they have it on Netflix.
And now they have it on Netflix, bro. Probably some fucking North Korean watching it too.
I know, right? Man, that was a funny movie though.
Yeah,
that definitely was a funny movie. But nah, man, it was definitely a good episode, man. Good talking. Always good talking to you, man. Always learning something new from you. Love you, man. I love your growth. I love where you're at right now. I love the real talk. But yeah, man, you always tell me, so now I need to tell you. Yeah. Is there anything that you want to leave for the listeners? An inspirational quote or something you want to say?
Yeah, I would want to say, and it just goes back to what we were talking about, and to yourself as well. Never be afraid to start somewhere new, and don't think too far ahead, because if you think too far ahead, you will end up tricking your mind into having anxiety, and you're eventually going to crumble under your own thoughts. So just take things as is, stay calm, one step in front of the other, and you'll be okay. What's your piece of advice for today, brother?
That was good. No, I'll take that one.
Yeah. What's one piece of advice you would give to a listener, brother?
Get my mixtape. Nah, one piece of advice that I would give is travel more. Travel more, live more, be more free. That's something that I'm trying to instill in myself right now because, like I said, I work so much that I'm trying to be more outdoors, as you can say. to just live more, be more freely, you know.
And that's one thing I also will take into consideration, just because I feel, or I've been feeling, that a lot of things that I do have just kind of been geared towards my passion, which is perfectly fine. But the thing is, sometimes while chasing these passions, you kind of put people and things that should be very important to you as kind of like second, like your second, what do you call it? How do I say it? Like second priority, bro. The second thing on your
Yeah,
priority. And sometimes that's kind of like not the way to approach it. But sometimes, like, at least with my mindset, bro, like I'm always so obsessed with trying to make it and trying to actually get some of my work out there, that sometimes I forget that, yeah, like I gotta live a little bit more for myself as well, not just always be in grind mode,
yeah,
but sometimes, just like with you, bro, like I get so into like the things that I'm doing, that I'm like, one more, let's do one more. And so, like, as of late, I
yeah.
think that I'm very guilty of putting a lot of things that should, in theory, be first on my list, on top of my list.
That's very well said, because you're right, bro. The people that should be not on a pedestal, but that should be on our top priorities, like
Yeah.
you said, we push them to the side. When I feel like if we actually like put those people in a position where they're actually on our side instead of like on the side, but actually on our side,
Yeah.
and actually spend time with them, and actually like, you know, then a lot of things. How do I say it? I don't know. You just said it best, bro. You said it best,
Yeah.
and I take that with me too. I take that with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds
So,
good. I don't want to add to that, because you just said it best, and I'm just like,
thanks,
I'll
bro.
go.
You make me feel too good, bro. I might end up go flatter myself in the mirror right now.
You're gonna go to the mirror and be like,
I'm so cute.
let's go.
Let's go. All right then, bro. That
So,
pretty much will
all
end
right,
our
man.
podcast. That will be episode 23. For the next one, we have the Kobe Bryant number. So thank you guys for watching.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
man.
Peace.
All right, peace.